What's up, Donnie?
Oh, hey, how you doing, boss?
How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just running more of these Arrowheads. Oh, you brought a whole camera crew.
Oh,
hey,
man.
hello, everybody.
Oh, man. He knew I was coming, but he's good, right? That's an actor right there.
Trying to
because he was over here with camera people, but now his guys they're on camera right there. So right there and right there. And
it's another day.
Donnie is making a crazy part, so I just want to show you guys real quick. Don't show it yet. There's got to be build up.
All right. It is
now
cool.
because we're behind the scenes. I just thought like it would be cool to come over to Donnie, look at the project. So he's working on an incredible video, and not only is he making an incredible part, but he's gonna be blowing stuff up with that part in some crazy ways and stuff that I don't condone, but it'll make for a good video, so it'll be cool. But one thing that a lot of people look at Donnie and they're just like, you know, fairly young. How old are you?
36 and a quarter.
36 and a quarter. But this guy actually started machining at 12. When I went out and I was like, we're gonna go into Swiss, I need to find an amazing Swiss machinist to lead this department and stuff. And this guy hit me up on LinkedIn, and then all these people started, I was like, who is the best Swiss machinist, like, boom, in the world? And like everybody started saying Donnie, and I literally was like, I was telling them like, I was like, you must be paying these guys, you know. But
it looks like I did. It looks like I owe people $100. It does. It definitely.
But at the end of the day, if you guys actually go to SwissMachiningAcademy.com and you actually go to this academy and you look through those videos, you literally can learn everything about Swiss machining throughout. It's such a wealth of knowledge. So all of a sudden through that, like he'll joke around, he'll mess around. He's right here, he has like a crazy, you guys are gonna see this, it is a crazy part. But behind the scenes, the guy has crazy talent and stuff. He actually moved down here to be part of our team, and he does an amazing job. And
sounds like
what's
I owe
this
you
part?
$100 now.
Oh man.
So this, you know, whenever you get a chance to make a weapon at work, make a weapon at work.
Don't get me in trouble, man.
So this is what we're making in this video. Which one's got the zoom? You, Sam?
And this is 17-4 stainless steel.
And it does work. Let me tell you, it works. But yeah, the second I told everyone I was making arrows, everyone brought in their bows. So Chris brought in his bow. And then Jesse saw this and was like, that does not go well with our brand at all. You know, we're supposed to be wearing black. So Jesse, of course, brings in a Matthews, which this is actually a crazy bow. This is insane. But yeah, they both will absolutely obliterate anything you shoot at them. So
one of the cool things, there's a lot of bow makers out there that are CNC machining some of the craziest bows in the world. And I know this because these guys are using our curriculum in their shops. They send me letters and stuff. I'm sure there's so many that I don't even know about, but to all the bow makers out there, man, without CNC machining, they wouldn't have those. You wouldn't have phones, you wouldn't have cars, you wouldn't have anything, man. So Swiss machining right here, you're making the craziest tips. One thing too,
right here.
He's got it.
I knew you were gonna bring it up.
So good.
Actually made this.
Put it in, show them what it is. So we're always like showing like how Mark Forged printers can actually 3D printers, you can use them in the shop, but you're just inventing things also. So look at this. Invented this, nice, you know, nice grip on it and stuff. I'll put it right here on this camera. But you got a nice grip right here, and then the arrow just pops right in there. Boom. Because if you're trying to twist it yourself, you could actually just cut yourself, it would be a nightmare. So you put that guy in there, and then use that to actually put the arrow in. I'll let you do it.
Yeah, so you start it with this, you start it by hand. You could, you know, it goes in nice and easy. But if you were to try, and don't ask why I know this, but if you were to try to tighten that by hand, you could easily cut yourself. So just drop it in this little guy here, and voila, there you go, it's on there. And that will help if it needs to go through a Barbie doll or a champagne bottle, or, you know, don't ask why I'm specifying some of the stuff, but yeah.
Donnie. But yes, at the end of the day, it's an intricate part. A lot of the different parts that Donnie makes, from like tiny little 8,000 screws to boring with like, how big is that little bore bar that you guys were using?
It was a 7-thou boring bar to bore an 8-thou hole.
Yeah,
which is just absurd. It's absurd.
Yeah, 2 crazy medical parts, 2 aerospace parts, watch parts, to actually just making really cool arrowheads, man.
So this is the end, which is crazy, right? Like they're both spinning, and it goes right over that arrowhead and encapsulates it. That blows my mind. These machines.
I think like with Swiss machining, this is not what you think about. Like there's so much room in this machine right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's so much going on.
Yeah, this machine is nuts. It's actually kind of crazy because like you wouldn't think it, but when you have most machines where it's just 2 programs at once, whatever, you got weight codes, right? When you get 3 machines working at once together, it is just a completely different level of complexity, but also capabilities. Like if you can't make it on this machine, like I've said it a million times, if you can't make it on this machine, get into pottery or woodworking or something, because like you're not cut out for this.
It's complicated, but that's your job, right?
Yeah.
You make complicated easy, and if people learn from somebody that understands what to take out and just give them what they need, then it just makes it perfect, right?
Yeah, and with a very little amount of effort, actually, I think you could really, if you put the effort in, you could really learn this. This is intimidating at first, but like you said with the Swiss Academy, those are the building blocks you need to step up to a machine like this. Yeah. And if you look at the end, right, of any task in your life, it always looks crazy when it's way up there. Yeah. But if you work your way up in small incremental steps, you'd be surprised how quick you can get to a point like this, really.
Yeah, I think that's like a lesson to people out there. Everyone around you will make you scared. They're scared, make you fearful of like whatever they're scared of. You know, you look at our kids, they're learning on aluminum, right? If these young guys are machining simple parts, like simple parts out of aluminum, and then the teachers and principals and different people are scared of the machine because they know how much it costs, then they're adding that fear into the program. But in reality, if you actually take that same kid and give them titanium, and you just give them the ingredients, the speeds, the feeds, the depths of cuts, the right tools, it's no different than aluminum. It's just a different material. If you have a good teacher and you have good tooling, good speeds and feeds, then it just works. So same thing here. You got Donnie over here. Somebody can come over here and think like, wait, there's 3 programs running at once, and there's all these different axes in motion, and there's all these, and I don't even know what guide bushings are, and like, oh. But then if you got somebody that systematically just breaks it apart and say, hey, don't worry about it. We got this, and this. You got here, this, and this. These are the different tools. You're familiar with this? Well, this is what we use in Swiss. And you just systematically do it, and you listen, and then you repeat, and you go through repetition. You're just going to learn. And that is literally what our Swiss Machining Academy. The Academy is free, so we're not selling it to you guys. We're letting you know it's free. We're not expecting anything for it. So even if you're not a Swiss machinist, go on there and learn about it, because the process will make you more intelligent, make you smarter, make you have a greater head for this industry and stuff. And you get to actually listen to this guy for hours and hours and hours, because there's over 100 videos on it.
With this machine, it's honestly easy, right? Because you just have so much to talk about. Like, first things first, with any Tornos machine, it's like a Lego set. So when you look in here, don't think this is what this machine looks like, right? Because I can strip all this off and put a bunch of turning tools. I can strip all this off and make this whole side a milling side. It doesn't have to be the way it looks. It's actually impressive, right? But the one thing that really allows you to do crazy stuff on this machine, and these videos always do well, is you can do 2 things at once on this machine. So this turret here, let me reset and show you. This turret here actually is completely free of the material. So wherever my part is, it doesn't matter. I could be working on this side while working on this side and reduce cycle time, or maybe do a pinch turning process that you can't do on another type of Swiss, right? It just opens up the door to so many possibilities. And then to get even crazier with it, and I've never seen this before, there is 3 feet between your counter spindle and your main spindle. So you could, you know, let's not just think round parts, right? You could have a rectangular long milled part with all these pockets in it, and now you can hold it in between spindles, and you could make some crazy mill part. Something you would normally run on a mill is now easy on here. And then, of course, because it's the nicest Swiss machine ever, this whole turret can rotate on an axis like that. So now, angled work isn't a big deal, right? We just did this arrowhead. So in order to achieve some of these features, right, like this little, what would you call that? Like a scalloped pocket, not really pocket, but a scalloped shape right here, I had to mill that at an angle. If I tried to do this with a ball nose end mill perpendicular to the rotational axes of the machine, that'd be a pain. And it would look bad because you're on the center of the cutter. So now I can just rotate my whole turret, which is ridiculous, right? Anyone who works on lathes, just those words like bend your mind, right? Rotate my turret, do all my milling at an angle, go faster, and make a way better finish for surfacing. I mean, those kind of capabilities are nuts.
And then you got Keith over there. What's up, Keith?
Oh, yo,
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Oh, man. Doing what you do. Doing what you do. That's cool, man. We just want to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what really happens over here. And this guy talks smack. Like, he's one of the best at talking smack. His mouth goes so fast, you know? And it's like, but the first time when we first started filming and the guy started messing with him and I started messing with him, he was just like sitting there like,
you can see my face go
what,
red.
like, what do I do right now? You know, like, am I going to talk smack to Titan? You know what I mean? But I'm just like, bring it, man. But you better be good. You better be good. You know
Bro,
I mean?
you said I didn't look nervous, but if you go back and watch my first video,
no, you look nervous.
But I was at the GT32, and you're like, Donnie, talk about it, and you could see my face go from white to like red crayon red. Like I was so nervous. It took a while to get used to, for sure.
So good, man.
Yeah, man.
Boom, Donnie in the house, man. Love
baby.
it. Woo, he's first day on camera. He's already smooth, baby.
Did you guys actually see the videos on this? One thing was really cool. So he actually machined all of this on one side, and then he went to the second chuck. But then with regular jaws, it just hits, right? And it's kind of like, how are you gonna hold a round, awkward part? So he actually 3D printed the jaws with the exact shape, and then one of them was flat to have it locating right here. And then he was able to just grab it, hold. It's all about surface area, right? So he grabbed all of it right there, and then he came over here and finished this guy, like turned it, and then went ahead and milled it and stuff. If you haven't seen it before, sometimes the machinist just needs to see new ideas on how to do something. So a lot of people are not even thinking about 3D printing, that you could actually, instead of like going and machining and figuring out how to actually machine these jaws, you can actually just keep with your setup and then go print them and then just add the jaws in, and actually saves time if you have a 3D printer and stuff. So Mark Forge was useful again in that way. But really cool part, solving problems always. And now you're going to the Delrin, the blue Delrin.
Yeah, this will be a cool part. We'll clamp onto it with both ends. You know, you'll have some cool tools like the diamond tool and, you know, sharp tools, holding tight tolerances and watching out for the temperature of the part, because temperature really affects plastics like Delrin and a lot of the ones we used to run back in the day. So you have to watch your tolerances with all that.
Yeah. I think plastic is something, we haven't done a huge amount of plastic because we always go titanium and Inconel, Monel, and all these big materials and stuff. But we have such an amazing amount of talent in plastic, and we've solved the right problem. So Tyson, he runs a lot of different machines over here and stuff, but he does a lot of the videos on the 9-axis over here on the SMX. You used to have the 3100, now he's got the 2100.
It's a nine-axis machine. You've got, you know, the two turrets on this side, the milling spindle, which can rotate pretty much the entire way around. You got pretty much a full range of motion on that top milling spindle. I like to use it a lot for both milling and turning, so you can put both mill tools in there, lathe tools in there. You got the lathe turret down here, so it doesn't have a Y-axis, but it's a live tooling turret also. You can have tools on both sides. But what I actually like to do is a lot of the lathe tools I like to put on the upper milling head, because then you don't got to worry about any of the stick out or any of the clearances on this bottom turret. You have it on the top turret and it has all the space over here. It also makes touching them off really easy, because on the upper turret you don't have to retouch off tools in different directions. It has a G-code that'll flip around the tool to whatever orientation you want. You got the milling spindle that has X, Y, and Z. It can also tilt, that's the B-axis. You've got the chuck here that has an A-axis that can move forward and back, so we'll be using it on the plastic to grip the part. And then you have the lathe turret that has an X and Z standard lathe tool. It's got live tooling capabilities but no Y-axis. You can pretty much make anything on this machine. It's got the best of both worlds of being both a lathe and a mill. So I really enjoy it.
And you guys, most of you guys already know Tyson is my son. He's my oldest son. And when your son has gray hair, you know what I mean? Then you know you're old, you know. So just messing around.
Yeah, stop stressing me out so much.
When he started at 18 years old. I said, you can go be whatever you want. If you're not going to go to college, you can do whatever you want. But until you figure out what you want to do, until you go get a job at whatever you want to do, you're going to work at the shop and stuff. And that was great because at the beginning he didn't want to be there, but he worked for 5 years under a great machinist. I put him as a setup under a lathe guy who had just done such incredible work. And then the guy would just teach Tyson how to set up the machines, and we're doing all kinds of SpaceX and all kinds of like crazy aerospace parts. And it was just great because every day for 5 years he just set up all this guy's programs until one day the guy didn't show up to work, and we had all of these SpaceX jobs, and it was like 2 weeks and we had to get them done. And I was like, hey, nobody has the time, Tyson. You're gonna have to do this, so we're just gonna teach you how to program right now. You already know the process, so it's just about speeds and feeds and like the process of like picking the tools and hitting the tool bats. And in 2 weeks, he basically learned how to program and made difficult, crazy featured parts out of like
Titanium, steel,
all kinds of stuff.
Stainless.
No, but it was like it's like Nitronics, right?
We had a
Nitronics 60
there,
and stuff. Yeah, crazy parts. His eyes were like this when I told him, but then he finished them, and then he's been running lathes ever since. So this guy never like. I literally have to force him to take a day off. Like, you need to go take your girl somewhere and treat her nice and do this and do that. And
it might be snowing tomorrow, so I might be taking the day off. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Oh, good. he's working from home. All right, love you, man.
Yeah, love you too.
If you follow my personal page on LinkedIn or Facebook, I'm all about this reinvention. So lost 35 pounds, made a bunch of life changes, just getting up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning and just working out. I just want to be the best I can be to live up to who God created me to be. You know, we got huge things happening at the company. To be the CEO that can handle that and lead my team into the future, I need to be the best that I can. So I'm making a lot of different changes and stuff. So not only when it comes to health and fitness and all these different things, but even at the shop, you know, just like I'm a machinist. And then last year, we got so busy with so many different things, and we hired so many people, and like we're just expanding that it literally locked me off the machines and stuff. So I didn't get a lot of machine time, probably the least amount in any year. But this year, it's not only about health, it's not only about all these different goals that I've set for myself and for the company. It's about getting back on a machine. It's about doing what I love most. I'm a machinist. I love machining. Everything I have is because I'm a programmer and stuff. So this is one of the projects that I'm working on right now. I haven't programmed it yet, but over the weekend I'm gonna start this one. But it's cool. Nice big parts. If you look, I'll come over here for scale, nice and big. The part is 17 inches long. It's an actual aerospace stabilizer right here. Beautiful part, thin walls, nice deep pockets. I'll actually just lay these down. But when you look at that part and you look at the tolerances, you look at the thin walls, you look at once all that material comes out of those pockets and the tolerances on the bottom that you have to keep and everything, like it's a super legit part. So we're gonna make it out of this round material right here. So a lot of people look at that and be like, why would you make it out of round? Because to actually get it nice, big, and square, it's hard to get the material. So I'm gonna do it out of round, and I'm simply going to dovetail up here so I can grab the dovetail, and then basically I'll lock on in the dovetail, and then I'll machine everything, boom. And then we'll flip it over. I'm gonna do some special trick fixturing. And again, if you guys haven't seen it, then all you have to do is see it, and then when you quote your own jobs, you're like, you know what, I know how Titan did it, or I know how Donnie did it, or I know how Barry did it, and it's like, I'm just gonna duplicate that process right there. So we're just teaching you all along. And if you look at it, it's on the Aerospace Academy. So I'm gonna actually make this a series that you guys can actually follow along on the Academy. You can make your own parts. You can make them out of aluminum or titanium. And for companies that you can't show your work, you can actually do this one for education in your own shop, and then you can use these parts to show to customers of what your capabilities are to actually hustle work. So it all works out. And then when they're done and they're beautiful, then I'm actually gonna put them on my profile at cncexpert.com, which is changing the landscape of machining. People are getting customers, they're getting work, they're finding employees literally all over the world, kids all over the place. Thousands and thousands of kids are getting certified machinists, are getting certified on there for free. It's incredible. If you haven't been on CNC Expert, go check it out. Again, it's all about serving this industry and stuff. In the last video, I talked about being one of the most competitive people in industry, in life, and I am. I'm building the greatest team, the greatest company. I take great value that nobody else thought of it, that nobody else saw the value in building the biggest community online. People say like, well, Titan, you're selling machines or you're distributing. Like, I absolutely am. You know why? Because it's hard to find people that want to help fund free education, and free education is expensive. So when you look at the partners that we do have, I'm incredibly grateful to them because they stepped up to help us. But you know what? We want to go to the highest level. We want to right now, we have tens of thousands of certifications that we're having to inspect. We need to hire more people behind the scenes. That it's not all glitz and glamour. We have to hire people to actually inspect all of these certifications and stuff, because it has to be real, it has to be legit, because it's our name on it and stuff. So we need to hire more people. That means we need to make more money. How do we make money in this trade? Hey, we're gonna actually distribute CNC machines, we're gonna distribute tools, we're gonna do these things at great prices, and you guys have followed us for years. Nobody ever comes back and says, oh, I tried what Titan did and it didn't work. Oh, Titan did this or Titan did that. There's a reason why we go with every machine. There's a reason that we go with the way we educate, and basically it works every single time. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. And think about it, reinvention. Look at your life, look at all the things, look at all the variables in your life, from being a father or a mother, or, you know, a wife or husband, leader, machinist, operator, student, whatever you're doing in life, whatever your health regimen, everything, look at each one. Think about manufacturing, look at the variables, and take every single variable to the highest level. 2025, let's go to greatness. I'm dedicated for greatness. You know, I could sit here and be like, hey, I got a great team, I got a great company, like, I'm just gonna coast. No, right now, I'm like, we've come to a place that is so awesome. Now it's like I'm in shape to start running, so we're gonna start running. We're gonna go, and we're just gonna make it happen. And we're gonna be vocal. We're not gonna be scared to talk about who we are or what we believe. We're gonna go out there, we're gonna love on all people, all nationalities, all religions, all everything. In the name of Jesus, we're just going to love on everyone. We're gonna teach everybody machining and build the greatest company in the history of the world that serves millions. Boom.